everybody. Welcome to another great trip through Mandys Worlds. Today we'll be visiting r/Tales from Tech Support. The title of this next post is No Overtime, No Exception. I work in IT and worked with one client for years and years looking after their various networks. Normally it's a 9 to 5 kind of job, but if something goes wrong after hours, it can become a real emergency for them quickly. One day the manager came down to visit our small team at this client's office. We were told they negotiated the contract and took a 5% cut on the job. So they asked if we would all take a 5% pay cut as well. No one would accept that, and we were ready to walk if they tried to push it. The next week we were told there was to be zero overtime without prior authorization of the company president himself, and there are no exceptions to this ironclad rule. They had us repeat the new policy back to them and emailed it out to us. The only thing I said to them was, "This is going to end poorly." 2 days later, the core router that connects to all the different parts of the big data center failed at 9 p.m. Our manager called me on my cell phone and said to jump in my car because the data center was down. I told him that I don't have the authorization from the company president, who had apparently gone camping for the long weekend with his family and was out of contact. I told him, "Sorry, I can't do any work as it hasn't been authorized." He then tried to say how he's authorizing it now. I told him he specifically told us just earlier this week it had to be from the company president and there are no exceptions. If he can get a hold of the president, then give me a call back. He was mad. The client was mad as they were told I refused to help. He left an angry voicemail for the president about me. They did get it fixed when the manager himself drove to the data center at the wee hours of the morning to pull out the bad board. The next business day, first thing in the morning, the manager, the client's CIO, and our company president were waiting for me to come in and told me to come into the meeting room. It went as expected, with raised voices, accusations, and many final warnings, until I pulled out the email and gave it to the client's CIO to read. It took him 10 seconds to read, and then the CIO asked me to head back to my desk and carry on with my day. I never heard what was said in the room after I left, but there was a new directive that afternoon that overtime work no longer must have prior authorization. I worked another 2 years there before I left for a better job, but to this day, if there is a rule with no exceptions, I relate this exact story and ask them to rethink what they are about to tell us. Well, friends, I have to say, this is a lesson in always respect your IT department. You never know when you might need a fire put out.